Winter is a time for the hunter to focus on some target species. Mother Nature will throw everything she has at you. It's about endurance and hardiness, and whether you're willing to put yourself out there into a cold, harsh wilderness. From a personal perspective, there's a few target species, and we'll start with grey squirrel. Prime time of year for hunting the grey invader. The best way to do this is to set up a feed station in some woodland or an area where it holds numbers of squirrels. You can purpose build these. It's a DIY job. If you want to check my channel out, you'll find a full instructional video on how I make these and why I make them. This has been learned from other people, from some good friends of mine. They point me in the right direction. I would say 90% of hunters today in the UK use these feed stations. It's the most productive way to control grey squirrels. Here's a close look at one of my feeders. As you can see, the ledge is only a couple of inch, 2-3 inch wide. I fill it with wheat. It's least expensive food source in the UK. And I armour the edges of the feeder, just in case feeders run dry. They won't be able to chew away in through the edges. I have a spinning target on the side of my feeder so I can check zero in the morning. And this particular feeder holds about 20 kg of wheat. And in this particular woodland, that'll last 3 to 4 weeks depending on activity. I armour the front on this one. That was a secondary idea because they did start to chew the way through. And there's a little ledge just to keep the majority of the rainfall off the wheat and stop it going to seed. Pick your location well. If you see drays in woodland, or it wants to be in a nice sunny spot, squirrels like a bit of sun on them the first thing in the morning to warm the bones, very similar to us. After a while, you will get the satiety feeler once they know it's a reliable food source. The air rifle, perfect tool for controlling grey squirrels and other quarry in the UK. I'm just waiting this one for it to settle, prevent me a shot. You can see it's busy, tucking into free wheat. If you're in a woodland that holded pheasants and no pheasant feeders, you probably have to use peanuts just to entice them in and give them something worthwhile over the wheat that they're already finding at pheasant feeders. As you can see, that was a nice shot. With sub 12 foot-pound air rifle, you should only be taking headshots. It's the most humane way to shoot squirrels. The only guaranteed way to guarantee a kill. A byproduct of shooting is you can use them for the pot, and this is only glazed squirrels. Something magical about UK winter. It's scarce, there's not much around. If you look in the right places, do your observation work, do your preparation work, you'll locate the hotspots for the quarry and be able to target them well and have productive sessions, even in the bitter cold. The brown rat. Winter again, it's prime time to hunt this quarry. During summer, they're out in the fields, in the hedgerows, because there's an abundance of food. But during winter, they'll move back into farmyards, outbuildings, feed stations. It makes it more productive for the air gunner. You'll need either a good spring rifle or PCP, preferably multi-shot PCP, night vision capabilities, or a red lamp. Find out the areas that they like to frequent, find out where the feed is, a reliable source of food for them. Get yourself set up in whichever way you decide. And you should have some productive sessions. Do the landowners a favour. Again, with rats, observation is key. They'll have the favourite haunts, they'll have the favourite runs, and they'll know where the food is. What you've got to do is identify these areas, set yourself up within 30 yards with an air rifle. If you're lucky enough to be able to purchase night vision kit, then you can use that. If not, a red lamp will still do the job, but after a while they will become familiar with red light and related to danger, and it'll be harder to shoot them. Brown rats are very resilient foe and will soon wise up to shooting pressure. So I advocate using your budget wisely and buying a good night vision unit. If you set up right, you set up in the right area, they'll not know that you're there, and you can amass good numbers in a short time. The big pest for landowners in the UK, they foul food. They eat a lot of food that's destined for cattle or other livestock, and that comes at a cost to a landowner. They also spread disease, firstly to humans. There's wheeled disease, and that could be a life-changing disease for a lot of people, or it can even be a killer. So control of these species is paramount, an important aspect of what we do as air gunners. During winter, all species can suffer hard times. They'll congregate in numbers for safety, but also so they can feed reliably and together. So that moves me on to the wood pigeon. A good way of targeting this species during winter is to find the areas they like to roost. During winter, they will flock together, and you can find, depending on the area, flocks of 200-300 birds. They'll find an area of woodland that offers shelter and a little bit of warmth during the winter time. If you can identify these areas, they can provide you with some good sport. Here you can see probably 20 or 30 wood pigeons together. This is only a small proportion of how the birds flock up. During winter, food and warmth are the priority. So you can find the food sources like ivyberry trees or winter crops. It'll put you in productive areas. A good way of identifying areas is just walking around your woodland. Look for berries on the trees. Look for feces on the floor if it's concentrated. there's a lot in a certain area, you'll know that the birds either like to roost up or rest up in that area. And it's a good place to start. Observation will tell you a lot as well. Go out without your rifle, just sit and watch for a couple of hours. Watch where the birds like to congregate, and this will put you in a good spot. At night they like to roost in trees that are covered in ivy, dense ivy generally. They can get right in between, it offers shelter and a little bit of warmth. When the birds are flocked together and they roost together, the generated body heat from each other will keep them warm. They will feed through the day, feed on ivy berries or any kind of fruit or foliage that they can find, and they'll digest that slowly through the night. That's part of the process of keeping warm. If they have full crops, they digest it slowly, that'll keep them warm. Be a productive time for the air gunner, making them amass quite a few decent bags. The leaves are virtually bare on trees, which highlights your quarry. You usually see them silhouetted. Quarry identification is important this time of year. You need to be experienced, learn about your quarry, see how it looks against different silhouettes, different outlines, so you can easily identify it and know that you're keeping legal. Once all this experience is gained and all this knowledge, you'll find yourself in productive areas and productive sessions. Again, great for the table. It's a byproduct of what we do as hunters, and another side of it that we can all enjoy and explore. Similar tactics can be employed for the COVID species of birds: magpies, crows, rooks, jackdaws. They are scavengers. They like nothing better to find roadkill or animals that succumb to winter and harsh climate. If you want to target these birds, you need to build an hide. It needs to be solid, made of suitable materials. In this instance, it's pallet wood hide with some tarpaulin to keep it waterproof, and then it's dressed with natural foliage. Now this needs to be in place for 2 or 3 weeks before you plan any shoots. So let the birds get used to it, let it settle into its natural environment. Inside the hide needs to be nice and dark. You need to minimise that movement that they can see. During winter obviously you'll be in full camo to keep warm. In summer or any other months, gloves and a face veil or snood in this instance are a priority, just to keep that pale skin from showing. Do a little shooting in home that you'll have provided, just big enough for a rifle and any camera equipment that you want. Good tactic: spot a decoy bird, a slit open rabbit or some other quarry, and use a homemade cradle that I've just seen it pictured there. If you want to see more about how to build them, check out Hunter's Vermin on YouTube. That's where I learned how to make my own. Sits the bird up nice and proud, makes it look lifelike. Use a bird from a different area. If the bait don't interest the corvids, the territorial instinct will kick in and it should give you some opportunities. Again, you can do your observation work or preparation work. If you know where they frequent, you can set an hide up. You can target the trees that they like to sit in. They're very similar to wood pigeons, but this is often the case that it's all year round. Apart from the breeding season, they'll flock up together and you see big numbers. You can either roost shoot them if you know the roosting spots, or you can target them with decoys. The air rifle again is a perfect tool for this type of pest control work. as long as shot placement's good, power levels are legal. You can dispatch these birds humanely and effectively. They're a great adversary, really cunning, really clever, and their eyesight is exceptional. That's why you need a permanent hide, full camouflage, and preparation 2 or 3 weeks before. Plan your endeavours and you will be successful. When I mention city trees, I mean trees that have bare branches. The majority of trees will have bare branches throughout all the year, but some will be bare during the summer as well. It means the tree's slowly dying, slowly decaying. But the good staging posts, corvids like to sit in these areas because they've got good observation of the whole area. And if they find a food source, it's likely that they'll be first on scene and get to fill the bellies first before any other birds notice it. PCP multi-shot rifle is usually essential for these kind of birds. It can be quick fire shooting, and you can let off 2 or 3 shots in quick succession and then not see anything for another hour or so. In this instance, I shoot 3 on the trot, all in space for about a minute. This is what a PCP rifle offers you in today's age. If you do your preparation, your groundwork, your observation, and plan it well, you can amass some really good bags. They offer a challenge unlike any other. As an air gunner, that's what you're looking for, the ultimate challenge.